What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show. And right as we get into this video, I want to mention a couple of things real quick. Folks, if I seem a little on edge or a little different lately, I ask that you guys please bear with me. I am on my second full day of trying to cut back smoking the cigarette. For those of you who don't know, I smoke a lot of cigarettes. I was smoking something like a pack and a half a day. I'm trying to cut back. I've cut back dramatically, less than half a pack per day. And again, I'm on my second full day of that. And I'm hopeful to be quitting very soon. But anyways, we're here today and we're going to talk about a prison-related news story. We've been doing these again as of late. There's been a lot of prison-related news and I've been happy to be able to share it with you guys, and I hope that you've been enjoying these videos. Folks, it is October. And it seems right around this time of the year, every year, at least for the last couple of years here on After Prison Show, we've been talking about what this time of the year is, especially in relation to serving time. And what I like to refer to the end of the year, getting closer to the holidays, you've got Halloween coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the New Year's. Folks, while serving time, I like to refer to the end of the year as escape season, because it damn sure seems that during this time of the year, dudes be trying their hand in an effort to try to get up out of the jail or the prison. When it ain't their time to go, it ain't their release date, they trying to break up out of there. They're trying to be like that TV show Prison Break in real life, or possibly even like Grand Theft Auto 5. And this story that I'm getting ready to share with you guys is a perfect example of just that. Folks, let me introduce you to these four geniuses right here from Ohio. We've got Troy McDaniel Jr., Brian Martin, Christopher Clemente, and Lawrence Lee III. All four of these guys were serving time in an Ohio jail, and all four of these guys were facing a slew of different type of charges, but no charges that really seemed all that necessary to try to be escaping from jail with. Now, I don't know the backstory with each and every one of these individuals in terms of like probation or parole. They all were facing different charges prior to, attempting to escape, which they would end up doing. And with the charges that these guys were facing, I mean, they could be looking at anywhere between 1 year to 5 years, or maybe something like 5 to 10. And even though 10 years may seem like a lot of time, trust me, it ain't gonna be nothing in comparison to the amount of time they about to be getting now. Because all four of these guys can tack on at least an additional 5 years apiece for this escape that they were all party to. Party means being like a part of, right? And you've got different variations and levels of severity in terms of escaping. Let's say, for example, a guy is working on a road crew, or he's working at a work center, or he works outside of the gate. Like he's an outside trustee. He's already been taken outside of the jail or the prison. He's beyond the fence doing his job. That's why he goes beyond the fence. But let's say he escapes at that point. In a lot of cases, that's not as severe as actually escaping from inside of a facility. Here in the state of Virginia, if you do something similar to what I was just talking about right there, they call that something like walking off of the job detail. It's not escape, it's a walk-off type of a charge. I'm pretty sure it could still carry upwards of 5 years, but it's definitely on the lesser side of the severity level in terms of escaping. And what is more toward the high side, if not completely the high side, is what these four guys in Ohio just did. And the story goes on to outline at least a little bit of how these four guys were able to escape from the jail, and folks, it's not pretty. Ohio officials said the four men were previously behind bars at the county jail in Gallipolis, Ohio. I think I hit that right on the head. Gallipolis, Ohio. On Sunday, authorities say they overpowered two female corrections officers. Man, y'all don't get no points for that. See, it would be different if it was male officers, but y'all don't be doing nothing like that. Nobody's gonna give you any type of respect or kudos trying to overpower some female guard. But that's what these guys did, and not only did they try to overpower these two female officers, they did so with the use of a shank and escaped by stealing the keys to a police vehicle. And the story also illustrates what a shank is, saying a shank is commonly referred to as a makeshift knife. And I'm really glad that they put that part in there as well, because there are probably people out there who have never heard of After Prison Show and have no idea what a shank is. But again, for those who don't know, it's a makeshift knife, a prison-made weapon at that. So these four idiots would overpower two female officers and at some point would get the keys to a police vehicle. Not sure if they got them from that officer. God, I really feel like there's a lot of details that don't make this story because you can't just get from point A to point B. If you overpowered these two female guards, you still got to get up out of the jail. There's going to be cameras, other guards. Where are you going to get the keys from? They might have had to go up into the officer's break room in an effort to get those. But however it took place, and again, there's really not a lot of details that tell us anything more than what the story has thus far, these guys would end up getting out of the jail, jumping into a police car, thinking that they were playing Grand Theft Auto role play in real life, driving a couple of miles down the street before ditching the police vehicle in favor of a car that was waiting for them. Y'all, these dudes had some help from the outside, and RIP to whichever of your prison pen pal girlfriends it was who left her Ford Focus for you guys in an effort for you to escape. Now I say that, but I don't honestly know. I mean, these dudes could be gang members. It could be one of their gang brothers who left a stolen vehicle for them. Maybe they think they're living in that TV show Sons of Anarchy. I honestly don't know. But when I hear that they ditched the police car in favor of a car that was waiting for them, the first thing that comes to my mind is it was some girl, some small block 350, who done left them her Ford Focus because whichever of the four guys it was filling her head with all sorts of empty promises about what life was going to be like for them once he did escape. Yeah, girl, I'm trying to tell. I swear, boy. I swear. What'd you have for dinner? You had Swiss rolls for dinner? Whew, I wish I could be there to eat your Swiss roll. Hey, I'm just playing, girl. I'm just playing. But listen, do you ever think about what it would be like if we could be together on the outside? I'm only facing a year. But you could help me get out sooner. What would you say if I asked you to leave that Ford Focus over there on 3rd Street for me? Oh, you would? Now, the story would also go on to say that this escape took place sometime after midnight on Sunday. What it doesn't say is how long it would take before jail officials would realize that these four dudes had broke out. But I would like to imagine that it wasn't soon thereafter because, overpowering these female guards, they was going to tell somebody and try to get some help probably as soon as possible. It's not like they were breaking out unseen. They had to overpower these two women in an effort to be able to get out. So I'm quite sure that it wasn't long after they escaped that the authorities were hot on their trail. And the story also goes on to say that the men fashioned a shank and were able to force open a secure door. Boy, you was able to do that with a shank, though. Dog, you had a crowbar up in there. But as soon as police were alerted to this jailbreak, police canine dogs initially tried to track Lee's scent, but were unsuccessful. I don't know why they only mentioned Lee. Maybe they had a smell of his. Maybe he was the dirtiest, grungiest of the bunch. Maybe he was just a stinking ass prisoner. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, never mind. I got it now. It's because they're talking about when these guys actually got arrested. Again, they broke out on Sunday right after midnight, and they say that the three men were arrested at the Red Roof Inn in Cary, North Carolina, just before 2 a.m. Let's say you were facing 5 years in prison. I want to ask all of you this. If you were facing 5 years in prison, is it worth the risk to try to escape? I know there's going to be some people who say absolutely, but, I would like to imagine that most people would just be thinking, man, forget that. Because you're going to take that 5 and turn it into 10. This ain't that why do 10 when you can give 5 to a friend. This is forget doing 5. I'd rather do 10 if I get caught. And we rarely ever hear about a story of somebody escaping, especially during escape season, where they don't get caught. You put forth all this effort into trying to get out, but damn, it doesn't really ever seem to last all that long once you found freedom. Oh, and the story also goes on to talk about some of the charges these guys are sitting in there facing. Domestic violence, probably beating up the old lady. Assault. Menacing. I don't honestly know what menacing is. If anybody does, could you please comment down below and let me know. Drug possession, burglary, and unlawful restraint. Boy, who was you trying to tie up? Unlawful restraint, though? That charge might actually carry some time. I wonder what these four guys are thinking right now. They can't be very happy with themselves. They got arrested in North Carolina. They were awaiting extradition, which at this point they've already been extradited back to Ohio, meaning that Ohio officers had to come down to North Carolina, pick them up, and then drive them back. And I can guarantee you, That was not a very pleasant ride at all. Oh, you tried to overpower 2 female guards? How's that bump for you? Guard, can you slow down? We ain't got no seatbelts back here. Oh, you gotta use the bathroom. You better dookie on yourself, though. You know, I don't want to make this video super long. I definitely wanted to address this story, but, you know, as I get ready to wrap this up, I want to leave you guys with, like, some final thoughts. Some Jerry Springer type of final thoughts about escaping from custody, whether it's jail or it's prison. You know, throughout all of the time that I've served, I've definitely thought about escaping. I have, more than a few times. I've thought about trying to dig through block walls, concrete block walls. I've thought about jumping the one single fence at a road camp that I was at when there was nobody watching and there was some train tracks down past a valley, just trying to get away. And at that point in time, I had 5 years left when I was thinking about trying to jump the fence. And when I was thinking about trying to dig through the block wall, I hadn't been sentenced yet. Like, I didn't even know how much time I was going to get. But I mentioned that to you guys because, look, when you serve time, escape is definitely going to be something that you think about. But whether you go through with actually trying to carry it out, you know, that's an entirely different ball game. I don't want to say you got to be like a super gangster type of a prisoner to be able to try to carry something like that out, because you're not. You're not a gangster, and you ain't no go hard type of a thug life for life dude escaping from custody. It's dumb. Because in 99.9% of the cases, you're going to get caught. You're going to get a lot more time. I've heard about dudes who have ran away from prisons in an effort to try to go be with a girl and hid in a swamp and covered their face with the mud and the dogs found them. I've been in the jail where a dude was telling me that he wanted his dad to come drop off some wire cutters outside of the rec yard. And not only did he tell me this, God only knows how many other people he told. And this dude even had like a map drawn out. He was talking about going and living on a boat, going up and down the intercoastal. And then one day, he was gone. I woke up one morning and he was gone. I don't know if he escaped during the night, but I'm pretty sure that didn't happen because of the fact that, you know, nobody was talking about the fact that he escaped. He was just gone. Maybe he got transferred to a different jail because I'm pretty sure he had a lot of charges in a lot of different cities. Or maybe the authorities got wind of his situation and they moved him to isolation. I have no idea what happened to the guy, but I was always curious about that dude. I was in the jail with some dudes who were locked up for manufacturing meth. And these dudes were facing a boatload of time. And these dudes would come out of their cell, slam the cell door into the utility closet door every single day until they finally broke off the handle to the utility closet, which was a metal handle that you could slip your fingers inside of. And they were using that as a shovel to dig through blocks, like what I was thinking about doing. They got caught. Somebody told on them. They was facing additional charges. The risk is never going to be worth the reward. Of course, the reward is going to be, man, you're going to be free. And you ain't never going to get caught. At least that's what you're going to be thinking. But in so many of these cases that we hear about with attempted escapes or escapes, you know, people put so much legwork and thought into the escape plan that it doesn't really seem like they put any thought or effort into what they're going to do when they get free, which probably is the reason why they don't stay that way for very long. So I mention all of that to say this. If you got to serve some time, just serve your damn time, no matter how much time it is. If you got a life sentence, that's a completely different can of worms right there. You ain't got nothing to lose. But if you got to do a couple of months, a year, or a couple of years, just do your time. Yes, you will think about escaping. It's okay to think about that. You're only human. Nobody wants to be caged up like an animal and treated like one sometimes as well. But definitely don't try to do it. And I know that's going to be harder said than done, especially at this time of the year, nearing closer to the holidays, when, while locked up, we're entering into escape season. Hey, look, that's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment, letting me know exactly what you thought about it. And as always, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace! They some dumbasses.